Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2016. This is top 8, and this is Travis Smith, Go America, Team America, fuck yeah. And he's playing Blue Eyes versus Matt Casero, playing Monarchs. I think that's Australia. A lot of Monarchs at this event. I'm actually quite surprised, considering that beautiful card over there, Pantheism, is limited to 1 and Domain, but I see a lot of people playing Escalation. Now, I think that Blue Eyes is actually quite good in this matchup. I think that Blue Eyes has, well, Monarchs in this format, obviously. I think Monarchs have an advantage because, I think Blue Eyes has an advantage because a lot of Blue Eyes decks, they play like 2 effect veilers, sometimes even more. Looks like he's playing double pod duality, which is really interesting, and he did get Escalation and Search It. Maybe that means he's going to tribute for Karaz, which he revealed already. Travis has Max C in his hand. I think just being able to play triple Veiler in the main deck is just so strong. Like, Effect Veiler has so much natural synergy, and Blue Eyes really just because of Sage being able to search it. So he pitches Galaxy Soldier to summon a Galaxy Soldier, or to attempt to summon it. I don't know about this hand. Well, he has I guess Melody of the Awakening Dragon. He might actually want to just pitch that Maxi. I don't think he's getting any value out of it against Monarchs. If he gets Cyber Dragon Infinity on board, I think he'll probably win this duel. But Matthew obviously has the ability to stop that because he has Escalation, and he can tribute for Karaz. He can blow up like the Cyber Dragon with Nova when he summons it. So he has some plays that can be like that can interrupt what Travis wants to do. We see a Return and a Melody. Return, obviously a super strong card. I don't know. Maybe I thought that he would have used Melody first, and maybe he just would have went for Alternative Dragon to try and blow up the I think I would have went like before I even summoned the Galaxy Soldier. I think I would have just went for Alternative Dragon and just blown up the Idia, just get it off the board, just attack over it, and maybe try and bait out the Karaz and then drop Cyber Infinity, and just absorb the Karaz and then try and play like Cyber Infinity control. Hope that it can get you there, but I mean, maybe without any defensive cards, he doesn't feel that confident. Actually, the Karaz couldn't because he would have had to pitch Return. It would have had to been the great. I'm thinking Return could have been used as protection for the Alternative Dragon, but I don't know about that. If he could somehow get Spirit Dragon, that'd be huge. Spirit Dragon is so good against Monarchs. Stormforth obviously is a problem for it, but in general, it can negate Idia, it can negate Pantheism, it can negate Prime. All those graveyard effects Monarchs like to use, it can just say nope, 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 and nope. All right, so what is he going to do now? What's going to be the follow-up play? Now, there's no surprise that Blue Eyes is in top 8. I think there was about 30 competitors here. Blue Eyes, I believe, I got to watch Lithium's video to see if it was the most represented deck, but it's a very strong deck, and it's probably the best deck for this format, to be honest. All right, what's he doing here? Yeah, he has to get that Dragon Lords into that. I actually may have even pitched Gospel Revival. No, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's just going to attack. Yeah, he might just want to consider attacking, getting the card off a board, and if it is destroyed by Karaz, then maybe he might just want to go ahead and, if it's destroyed by Karaz, he might want to just consider using a card like Return to just bring it right back. So, I mean, he get a draw too, so I think that the game's about even right now. Depending on how this play turns out, I'll pick who I think is going to win. All right, so he goes for the Galaxy Soldier number 2. Okay, so he can reborn the Blue Eyes, and he's going in the Nova. There's a strong chance he might interrupt this Nova play. I don't think you want to have to deal with Cyber Infinity. I really, really don't think you do. All right, Escalation will be played, and he will then tribute. All right, I would imagine he's gonna activate Idia, and Karaz will probably blow up the Nova and probably blow itself up as well. No, I think he may have just targeted his face down monster. Yeah, I believe he may have just targeted his face down monster. You have to blow up the Nova. That's not even an option. You have to blow up Nova. You don't want to deal with Cyber Dragon Infinity. All right, so he blows up the Nova, and he blows up his face down card, and that gives Travis another Blue Eyes, which is not super good, but he activates Return. Gets his Blue Eyes. See, if he had Spirit Dragon, he'd just be sitting pretty. The problem is, Matt has a lot of cards in his hand. And he got his Pantheism back, I believe, as well. So I think Dark Matter Dragon might be a main phase 2 play here. So that he can just, what's it called? Yeah, I think Dark Matter Dragon might be a good play here. Oh, he's going for Edea, I believe. Or not Edea, Aether. He's going to activate Aether's effect. I think he may have drawn that Aether, actually. I think he actually drew that Aether. So he's going to Tribute, and obviously he'll get some Monarchs out. Damn, Escalation. Why you not once per turn? That is such a shame. All right, so he gets his Prime in the grave and a return. Yeah, I actually think he drew that Aether off of the destruction of his face-down card, off of his Karaz. He has Twin Twisters. He's not getting any value out of that. That's just a dead card. Pot of Duality, I feel like, is a dead card. Also, I just look at Pantheism, and Pantheism seems like it can be really strong here. All right, looks like he's going to Exceed. I think Dark Matter Dragon is the card you want to go for, because Dark Matter Dragon can get you your stones. Well, I'm not talking about going straight into Dark Matter. Obviously, I'm talking about Exceeding and ranking up into Dark Matter. But you need to get rid of Escalation. Like, if you can get rid of Escalation and get rid of these monsters on board, that's really big. All right, so he's bringing out another Photon. I think that's the armor one. And Dark Matter Dragon should be... Oh, no, I think he's going to pop first. Let's see if he's going to... Okay, so he detaches. And maybe he's thinking about just blowing up... Oh, no. Okay, so he blows up Escalation. Fair enough. Okay, not a bad hit, not a bad hit. And now he's looking for Dark Matter Dragon. Fair enough. All right. So he'll send some cards to the graveyard, and Matt will have to banish some cards. I mean, at this point, if you're maining any hand traps and Monarchs, which I haven't really seen a lot of people playing hand traps and Monarchs, I think this is the time to go ahead and just get them out of your deck. Okay, so he sends Ancient Stone, Alternative, and White Spirit Dragon. See, I thought maybe he wanted to leave White Spirit Dragon... I thought that maybe he'd want to summon that to banish the Escalation, but I guess, okay, whatever. Because Escalation in the graveyard is kind of like fuel for Prime, but if it's banished, it's not fuel for anything, and it's probably not coming back. But, I mean, you know, both players have a lot of life points. Not a lot of damage has been done. Matthew is fully healthy, 8,000 life points. Getting some shuffling here. It's actually kind of crazy how often Dark Matter Dragon is just able to come out, and it makes you wonder... If the dragon, it makes you wonder if the dragon rulers were legal, how strong Blue Eyes would be. Because I'd have to imagine they'd run at least a couple of the. I don't know if they'd run all 4 dragon rulers, but they would run a few of them, maybe at least a couple. All right, maybe I think they'd probably run Burial from a different dimension as well. Showing them his graveyard. Maybe they wouldn't run the Galaxy Soldier build. I don't know. I do see that as quite common amongst players. All right, activating the effect so that he can go balls to the wall, attack everything on the field. Being able to clear out all of the Monarchs is actually pretty huge here. Yeah, I think it's actually pretty significant that he's able to just get rid of all those Monarchs. And he might just want to summon another big Blue Eyes from his deck. Actually, yeah, instead of going for White Spirit Dragon, I believe he might have one more Blue Eyes in his deck that he wants to summon here. And there it is. There's that third Blue Eyes. I've never been a fan of that artwork of Blue Eyes. I like Blue Eyes in space so much more. Okay, so we see Prime is activated, and see this is where a card like what's it called? Spirit Dragon just comes in handy. The Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, your opponent activates Prime, and you're just like, no. Oh, by the way, that playmat. So here's what the deal is about the playmats. These are the World Championship cards. I'm actually a little mad at Konami because these artworks on these cards are so good. I feel like they're completely wasted on cards that can't even be used in duels. Cards that are only given away to like 5 people in the world. Like, man, you could have just made some like really good broken cards and just put those artworks on them. And like, I just think that, especially for the guy from yesterday, like the artwork on that card, I think he's like a psychic. He requires like 3. So he's like a psychic pendulum. But again, they can't be used in duels, even if you have one. So I don't like when Konami makes these ridiculously good artworks and then just kind of waste them. All right, so he pitches Pantheism to get Erebus back. That'll obviously allow him to use Pantheism from the graveyard, or maybe not. Okay, he's activating Allure of Darkness. He has his Erebus, so he can actually do some stuff. And Eidos is banished, so Erebus is still in his hand. He might actually have to go for the Pot of Duality here. Yeah, he might have to play Pot of Duality. Because, I don't know. I mean, I also look at that Twin Twister and just it being so unusable in this matchup. I saw Travis in the other match. Didn't seem like the dude really ran. I mean, he runs some floodgates out of the side deck like Anti-Spell Fragrance, but, you know, in the main deck, I don't know. Got himself a return in Edia, which you definitely aren't going to play. And probably going to take the return. And he takes the return. I mean, you could go Karaz, blow up Travis's field or attempt to, but he draws some cards. And he also has return, which could just stop that absolutely. All right. So he is going to banish Pantheism to search a card. Monarch Stormforth looks really good here. Yeah, I think if you're Travis, you don't even look at Stormforth. Unless he has 3 Stormforths, which I don't believe he does. Whatever is the non-Stormforth card that he shows you is what you give him. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, unless it's a Tenacity, and then he can just search it anyways. All right, so he gives him the Tenacity, and he will probably search for Stormforth. Reveals Erebus. Okay, and there goes the Monarch Stormforth. Obviously, he will be able to get rid of Travis's full field, and I think that Monarchs might take this one. Yeah, because he has not only a field clearing card in Stormforth, but then in addition, he also is going to search. Maybe Pot of Duality wasn't so bad here, and he will be able to take 100% of Travis's resources away. This is looking really bad here. Travis not willing to scoop yet. I think I might scoop it up because Matt has double prime in the graveyard. Well, he will at resolution of Erebus, and you have no cards. You're top decking. That card in his hand is getting shuffled back to his deck. I would assume Erebus is not going to have any of that. But yeah, I'm just looking. Look at that artwork on that playmat, and it just why couldn't they just make like I'm trying to think of like a really good card is coming out soon. I don't know. Why couldn't that be like Julia's new boss monster or something like that? Man, they shouldn't have used such good artworks on cards that aren't played. Like, who cares if the world artwork card looks crappy? Like, we can't play it anyways. You know what I mean? First off, they only print like, what, 10 of them per year anyways? Then you can't even use it in a duel. So it can have the dumbest, worst artwork ever. But, you know, if you're going to use good artwork. Oh, I believe, I think he may have spun something else with Erebus. Huh. Well, that's interesting. He actually left the Blue Eyes in his hand. He only had one card in hand. I don't understand why he didn't use that on Erebus on Blue Eyes. Okay. I mean, he got the damage in. Don't get me wrong, but I think I would have just spun his last card in hand because he ends up literally top decking a trade-in, which is a live card. Now, he tries to pop the Erebus, but unfortunately, Matt says, can't let you do that, Star Fox. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tribute for Aether. Now, Aether doesn't actually activate its effect because I think he may be out of spells and traps. And Travis trades in his Blue Eyes for more cards. You know what he really needs here? Soul Charge. He needs like a really big Soul Charge play. He drew Melody of the Awakening Dragon, which is probably not super useful, and he drew an Effect Veiler. Because I would assume, well, he can't attack now. Actually, you know what? Normal summon and just fusion. Or, excuse me, not fusion, just synchro. That's your best chance, Obi-Wan. You know, that is literally your only chance of surviving this. Because the good thing is, he's in a position where Matthew can I don't think he can use his Monarch effects. I think everything in the graveyard's been banished and whatnot. But he still has, like, primes in the grave. So, you know, maybe the C plays are still there. I would synchro. Yeah, I think the best play here is to synchro into Spirit Dragon and just pray to God he doesn't get a Stormforth. Because if he does, you're wrecked. You're gonna lose. Because at least you can stop. Not only can he not attack over, not only can he obviously not attack over Spirit Dragon, but then Spirit Dragon can stop those nasty, obnoxious effects that Monarchs have. Okay, hold on. I gotta see what's happening here. Okay, I don't think anything really happened. I believe, in fact, Travis Smith just passed turn. Or no, maybe. Let's see. I'm waiting to see if Matthew's going to draw. Okay, Matthew's obviously not going to attempt to use Prime. If he's attempting to use Prime, it's going to get negated. Travis knows his cards. Okay. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to use Prime. He just says, I'm going to draw. All right. Oh, he got instant fusion, which is pretty big if he runs Norden. I don't know if that's the play. See, I don't know. Well, no, because Monarchs don't really run. Well, no, that could still be big because he could just get a regular card out of the grave. I'm like, Monarchs don't run rank 4s. You don't have any 4s in your deck, but he could just tribute the cards like the Norden and whatnot. I'm always thinking of seeing with Norden as in rank 4s, but he could just tribute for them. He has an Aether and an Eidos in his hand. The problem is I really do not believe that he can use Aether's effect anymore. Like he can't. I don't think he can get like a Karaz out of his deck. Tributes, okay. Well, maybe let's find out if he can. He can still search for one, but I don't know if he can resolve Aether's effect. He may not have used it last turn because it didn't benefit him. Okay, so he is going into the deck. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I must have been wrong. I guess he does still have enough cards. All right, well, he still has the Storm Force. That's right. Return in Storm Force. Return in Tenacity. Fair enough. And he gets Erebus out and not a Karaz. This is strange. Because what does Erebus do that, unless he runs a rank 8, what does Erebus do that Aether couldn't do by itself? He must have a rank 8 play in mind, because I don't understand how that benefited him at all. Like, your monsters are not big enough to get over the, what's it called? He activates Twin Twister. Okay. He activates Twin Twister to blow up his own. He activates Twin Twister to blow up his own return. What is going on here? He has to be thinking of a rank 8 play. That made no sense. Commentators. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what the reason for that was, but he must have a rank 8 play that I cannot think of. Maybe he's going, because he could tag out the Spirit Dragon. Maybe the instant fusion I don't really see doing anything, because he's gonna instant fusion. Okay, what is I gotta figure out what exactly this is gonna do. Instant fusions for Thousand Eyes Restrict. Okay, so he's baiting. All right. So he's baiting. I didn't. That's another card I just didn't think about. I didn't really think about Thousand Eyes Restrict. So he's bringing out his Azurize. All right. Well, he can use Prime now, but he can no longer attack. So, yeah, he can no longer attack. Let me just make sure that he actually did target. Why are they bringing up Thousand Dragon? Why are they bringing up Thousand Dragon?
Yep. So this hero has locked himself out of attacks.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. If he used Thousand Eyes Restrict and he targeted the Spirit Dragon as far as like absorbing it, then obviously you would tag out the Spirit Dragon and you bring out Azure, and Thousand Eyes Restrict can only use his effect once. Now he can still exceed, but he can't attack because only Thousand Eyes Restrict can attack, and it's in defense mode anyway, so it can't attack. Not to mention it can't attack because of instant fusion. This could be really bad, because now I'm not even sure that the primes matter anymore. You can only use one prime per turn, and all right, so he is going to exceed here. I can't tell what that is. I want to say that that's one of the Techions. All right, brings out a copy of I think that might be Galaxy Eyes Photon. All right, brings out a prime, and that's pretty much it. Interesting play. Was that a soul? Oh my goodness, did he just rip a soul charge? No way. He does not get his blue eyes back for free. Wow, that soul charge coming in clutch. Man, that is a really powerful soul charge. I find it interesting that he didn't, before main phase, why he didn't just get his blue eyes back for free. He can soul charge back 4 cards. Yeah, or he could have, why didn't he go just bring a blue eyes back for free though? I don't get it. Okay, so, keep in mind, he can obviously just, like, Synchro. He can summon, like, Michael after this, maybe. Go into Michael, banish some stuff. I think you gotta look at your extra deck and see what you want to make. Oh my god! I just realized he could soul charge back Nova Dragon, and he could bring out Cyber Infinity. That should be the game closer. You definitely have to bring back Nova Dragon. You can bring back Spirit Dragon. You can bring back Nova Dragon, which you could obviously rank up into Infinity. I still don't get why he didn't bring his blue eyes back for free during the standby phase before going to main phase. He may have gotten too excited, but I think you bring back Spirit Dragon, which he looks at. Okay, I think you bring back Nova Dragon to go into Infinity. There, okay, this guy, I must be literally speaking to this guy. And then maybe Alternative Dragon just to pop a card. I think those are the 3 cards you go for. Yeah, I think I would bring back an Alternative as well. Because I think Nova absorbing the Xyz monster or absorbing the Prime, and Prime might actually be, well, no, it has to be an attack mode. Absorbing the Xyz monster, and then when you get Spirit, plus you get like alternative to pop a monster, considering you can't, I just don't see a way to come back from that. Like, Monarchs have used, and he brought back the exact 3 cards I would have. You bring back Alternative Dragon, you bring back Spirit Dragon, you bring back Nova. I don't even think you need 4 cards. Because putting yourself at 4 puts you in the danger zone. You then only have like 400 light points. You have 0 margin for error. That 400 light points is it. I guess technically 400 light points is your margin for error, but I consider that 0. I just saved the 1,000 light points. I don't think it's worth it when during your next turn you're getting a free Blue Eyes from Azure Dragon anyways. Like, you're already going to clear his board. All right, he's going for the double alternative. I mean, I guess that does still give him, that gives him the rank 8 play. So maybe he might want to go for like Felgrand or something with the rank 8, just to completely lock Matthew out of everything. If he plays Titanic Galaxy, it's even better. That Soul Charge is going to win him the duel, mainly because of I think the Cyber Dragon Infinity is just going to be too big here, and 3 of those 4 monsters are monsters I 100% would have got. But I don't like that he spent the 1,000 light points on the Blue Eyes when he could have just summoned it for free. Unless I missed something, I think that there was a slight misplay there. But yeah, you're going to see him bring out the Cyber Infinity. He's going to absorb that Xyz. And I think Matthew he's not, like, man, this is a crazy game where honestly just everything. I don't know why he's giving them the materials. They do not transfer. All right, so he absorbs the Xyz. That's going to get popped by Alternative Dragon. And now you just look at the sides of this field. Even though Blue Eyes and Alternative Dragon is good on the field, I would Xyz. If you play Felgrand, I think that's pretty good. If you don't play Felgrand, go into Titanic Galaxy so he can't activate spells. And then there's literally nothing he can do. Those primes are not going to save him. You have... like, I mean, somewhere over 8,000 damage on board. The next turn, he will die. And he can't use any graveyard effects. If he tries to use Edea, just, like, negate it with, like, Spirit Dragon. So, I don't see a way out of this, especially with cards like Regeki being banned. But it doesn't matter about Regeki because, obviously, Cyber Dragon Infinity would just negate it. So, he's going for a rank 8. I think the rank 8 to go for is Felgrand / Titanic. If you have both of them played, go for Titanic. Don't leave anything to chance. Like, I think that the chances of Matt winning this first duel are bordering on single digits. I'm talking about like 2% and lower than that. Anything lower than like 2%. I think if he makes Titanic Galaxy, I think it goes to somewhere like 0.5%. There's the Titanic Galaxy. I do not think that he could win unless he top deck Lava Golem. That would win him the duel. That's it. That's like that 0.2% is like Lava Golem. Poison of the Old Man. They brought out Poison of the trolls. I love this trolling. Top deck Poison of the Old Man, you scrub. Poison of the Old Man would not work. He would negate it with Cyber Infinity. Matt, I think you scoop here. He summons Edea. I think I would just... Would I negate Edea? I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Because you don't have any Monarchs in your hands. So I wouldn't. Not to mention, doesn't Titanic make it so you can... Like, you can't even attack the Cyber Infinity, the weakest monster on board. As far as like attack wise, let me see, 21 base, 23, 25. All right, so a couple of them are 25, but you can't even ram into the Cyber Infinity because doesn't Titanic have an effect that says like you literally can't, you have to attack it. So he's trying to activate Eidos's effect. He's gonna negate that with Spirit Dragon. He can activate Prime, but what does that do? You put Edea in attack mode. I'm going to attack it, and you're going to die. He draws. He should enter battle phase, and then he should just attack. I wouldn't even overextend this because you never know about time or anything. For some reason, he's getting a blue. You've already won. Now he remembers to get... Wow, okay, whatever. This is so not needed. Like, even there's nothing that he could do. Why? I don't understand why he's putting these in. Does he not know the battle? Well, whatever. I guess he figures he needs all the damage. I don't think he needs all of this, to be honest, but that's fine. All right, so I think he still hasn't like negated anything though. Interesting. Like, you could just use Cyber Dragon Infinity's negates. All right, so that's game. That's game. There we go. All right, that's game. Going to game two. I mean, Matthew could have just saved a minute and a half. Once he top decked Edia, he knew the game was over. There was no way that he could be saved. The IDOS in his grave, the Prime, like those weren't good because they couldn't make any plays. Those cards couldn't allow him to make any plays. Not to mention, not only was Spirit going to negate one of them, but he still had Cyber Dragon Infinity with materials. Like, he could just obviously negate those. Let's skip ahead, try and get past the side decking, and see what happens in game two. I think, what's it called? Yo, shout outs to Admasu. Okay. Looks like he made top 8. Congratulations, bro. I think that duel was just, it was so back and forth. Like, at first I liked Blue Eyes, then I definitively liked Monarchs. And when he got that soul charge, the fact that he was able to get the Nova and rank up into Infinity still is what made me think, all right, he's got this. Because, like, I just thought, like, there's too many good cards he can just get back. Soul Charge and Blue Eyes is so good. It is such an amazing card. It's borderline. It's like one of the win conditions in the deck. You're able to summon, fields of like 5 or 4 huge monsters and just totally overwhelm the Monarch player who's used a lot of his resources. And while the Blue Eyes player used a lot of his resources, he obviously can just summon them back with Soul Charge. Long as your life points are still high, you just turn those into, you turn life points into advantage. And Soul Charge is like the only card in the game that allows you to do that, to be honest. Not even like Instant Fusion, because that's only like one card, which technically through Norden becomes like 2 cards. But Soul Charge is a card that's one card that lets you say, I'm going to pay 5,000 life points and turn one card into 5 monsters. You know what I mean? So use your life points to literally make advantage. So it's in your opponent's best interest to do a lot of battle damage, but Monarchs they don't really do that. That's not what they do. Monarchs are more of a control deck. And the interesting thing is, I don't even know if he's playing Domain. We did not see a Domain through that entire duel. Domain is at 1, so I don't know if players just aren't playing it because they don't think it's that important. But I have seen, Admasu was playing 1 Domain. He was playing the 1 lone copy. I would still play it because on the field, it still has, still has 2 really good effects. Outside of the whole locking your opponent out, which none of these players can really use because they're all running extra decks. But yeah, it still has other 2 good effects to 800 during the damage step and but making your Mega Monarchs 1 tribute. Man, that artwork is so good on that card. I think she's is she the psychic or is the other guy? No, you know what? I think she's the psychic and I think the other guy's the fairy. Yeah. I think she's the psychic pendulum that requires 3 monsters. All right. So letting Blue Eyes go first, which unfortunately he did open up with Sage to get a oh no, he thought he'd go for a Fet Veiler, but he messed up card of okay, he's going for something different. Did he open with Soul Charge as well? Okay, I assumed that he would definitely go with Effect Veiler. Usually when I see Sage, especially against Monarchs, it's like so strong, but no. All right, so this, oh my god, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I'm about to go crazy-asm. The field this guy's gonna make is so OP. Alright, so because he was able to use because he was able to send White Stone, he gets a Blue Eyes to the field, he gets a Blue Eyes to his hand. He's gonna pitch the Blue Eyes, he's gonna summon Galaxy Soldier, he's gonna obviously go into Cyber and Dragon Infinity, and then he's gonna Soul Charge like everything back, and it's gonna be such a huge board because he can make White Spirit Dragon off of that, and it's gonna be an incredible play. I don't like Matthew's choice to keep Twin Twisters in. That would have been the first card I took out. Alright, so here comes the Cyber Infinity. The 100% first card I would have taken out would have been Twin Twister. It does you no good in this matchup. It doesn't do you any good. Like, I just don't think it does you any good. I don't know about that Book of Eclipse though. I'm kind of wondering what that's for. I think Travis can kind of use Twin Twisters because he can get rid of things like Return and Escalation. But with Matthew, I don't know about Twin Twisters. Or maybe I saw Twin Twisters in Travis's hand. I'll wait until it shows Matthew's hand. I could have swore he had Twin Twister, but I could have just made a mistake. I think he needs the Soul Charge here. I don't think that Cyber Infinity can do this alone because there's too much. They both had Twin Twister. I just don't understand why Matthew would be running Twin Twisters, like why he would still have it in the main deck. He should have sided it out. Travis hasn't really been setting cards the entire duel, so. No, okay, he's going to wait on the Soul Charge. I think he's just going to. Yeah, okay, he's waiting on the Soul Charge. It's risky business, don't get me wrong, but It could work out for him. It definitely could work out for him. So he sets the Twin Twister, which if Matt gets baited into Twin Twistering his Twin Twister, that's gonna be tragic. Because Twin Twister against Blue Eyes just does nothing. Like they don't play traps in the main deck. They only side in floodgates like anti-spell. So unless you're looking to snipe those out, Twin Twister doesn't do anything to them, to be honest. They can Twin Twister you because, as I said, Matthew runs Return. He runs Escalation. Those are cards that can get hit. Maybe he runs Domain. That's another card you'd be able to Twin Twister. But Twin Twister versus Blue Eyes just doesn't do anything. So I thought maybe he would Soul Charge. He'd get Blue Eyes and White Stone back. I thought maybe he'd want to go for a Spirit play, but he doesn't. He decides to hold off. And you know what? I wonder if maybe he wants to Soul Charge back, and after his Galaxy Soldiers die, maybe go for a play involving Pallades. I wonder if he plays Pallades. All right, so he has Pantheism, Stormforth. Stormforth just being a card you have to negate. It's such a devastating card. All right, so what's going to be the play here? I think he wants to probably bait. Or maybe he might just want to open up with the Pantheism to try and just search some cards. Because he could give up his Stormforth and then just search like another Stormforth. That could be good. Okay. Now, if that was a good floodgate there, then maybe you want to protect it. Like if it was Mask of Restrict or something. Pantheism, Stormforth. I think you have to let him do that, because if you negate it, he could obviously use Pantheism from the grave and search 2 Stormforths and a what's it called? A Tenacity. The question is, do you just want to go ahead and negate that? And it looks like he is going to just negate it. Okay. Fair enough. He is going to just straight up negate it. I think the play for Matt is now to just activate Pantheism from the graveyard. Although, to be honest, it makes his hand significantly worse. Looking at his hand, it makes it really worse that he just didn't get the draw. He should take 2 Tenacities and a Stormforth, or 2 Stormforths and a Tenacity. It's pretty much the same result. He's playing Electric Virus, if I remember that correctly. I think that takes Dragons and Machines. I know it takes Machines, but I would have to assume it takes Dragons too. I think it's Puppet Plant that takes Spellcasters and Warriors, and Electric Virus takes Dragons and... what's it called? Oh, wow. Give him the Prime. Wow. He did not... Okay, I'm a little lost here. I'm not understanding why he took 2 Primes and... Oh, for Twin Twister. Oh, okay. For the Twin Twister. Fair enough. I was like, how do you expect to get that to the graveyard? You're not going to set it. Okay, so he Twin Twisters to get rid of the back row. All right, so I guess whatever card he wanted, he was just going to Twin Twister. He then activates Instant Fusion for Panzer Dragon. Okay. Oh, he's going to Xyz summon. Maybe he'll go for Pallades. All right. Or he could still Tribute summon. That's a possibility. He could just Tribute for Erebus outright. What's going to be the play here? He is going for the Xyz. Should be rank 5. Open up that overlay network. Volcasaurus. Uh-oh, this is kind of dangerous. Whenever somebody goes Volcasaurus, you just, like, you should always be a little on edge because you might, like, die. You might take a ton of damage and die. So he takes 25. That's a lot. Then plays, okay, activates Eidos. Uh-oh, you got to be a little careful here. You might take a ton of damage, and that Soul Charge might end up being no good. All right, so I guess he's playing a lot of cards for Instant Fusion. I just assumed Norden, but this guy's running Thousand Eyes Restrict, and he's running, what's it called? He's running Thousand Eyes Restrict. He's running copy of Panzer Dragon, a whole lot of cards. Okay, so looks like he sends Tenacity and Return. All right, so this is going to be big. Does he hit the book? Oh, he hit the Soul Charge. GG no re. Oh, no. That was tragic. Oh, he's left with just a Book of Eclipse. Well, the good thing is if he would have said Book of Eclipse, he would have lost it. So, wow, that was really, really big. Yeah, because the Soul Charge could possibly get him a couple of cards that could help him get back into this duel, but I don't think Book of Eclipse is doing anything here. All right, man. I think maybe he really should have Soul Charged turn 1. He would have at least had Spirit Dragon on board. And he would have been able to stop the Pantheism search. So, I don't know. Maybe the result would have been the same, but holding on to that soul charge may have cost him, actually. Alright, so battle phase, he loses monster and plays Upstart Goblin unless you draw soul charge again. And I think it's game here. As he top decks White Stone of Legend. Don't really know what he can do with that. He has Book of Eclipse. Yeah, but keep in mind that card lets your opponent potentially draw cards, so that won't help him. So he leaves Book of Eclipse in his hand, and he sets the White Stone. Both players are running low on resources, but Monarchs have the bigger monster on board. Top decks Pod Duality. For Aether, Karaz, Escalation, I might want to take... Okay, he takes the Aether. Obviously, that's the 100% live. I thought maybe he would take Karaz. Oh, excuse me, that was Ancient Stone. I thought it was White Stone. My bad. Okay, that actually changes things a little bit because that gets him a Blue Eyes. If that triggers, he now has a monster that's bigger than the Erebus. I'm sorry, I thought that was White Stone. I thought the Blue Eyes would go to his hand, which wouldn't really do anything. But Blue Eyes on the field is a little different. Yeah, Blue Eyes on the field is different. Obviously, no Aether will be summoned now because its effect would not be able to activate. He's already used Pot of Duality, so no special summoning. Does not activate... Okay, does not activate White Stone's effect. Weird. Okay. In the comment section, can you guys tell me why he didn't activate Ancient Stone's effect to summon like a Blue Eyes from his deck? I'm kind of lost here. He chose not to, or he must have forgot. Maybe I can...
It's interesting that he didn't use the stone effect.
Okay, so Jerome McHale just said, and I quote, "It's interesting he didn't use the stone effect." So we're both lost. I'm not understanding why he did not summon... Yeah, I'm not understanding why he didn't use a Blue Eyes from his deck. Can someone fill me in the comment section? Because I just don't understand. He would have had a Blue Eyes that's bigger than Erebus, and he would have forced out the Aether, and he still would have gotten an attack in. He also searches for 2 alternative dragons. What? Okay, so he's gonna add a Blue Eyes back. Why didn't he get a Blue Eyes? Okay, I'm lost. I don't understand why he didn't just summon a Blue Eyes, or he could have gotten a White Spirit Dragon, just anything. I mean, it's literally just a free monster. I don't get why he didn't. He must have just forgot. Goes for alternative dragon. It's a damn shame you can only summon one of those per turn. He's gonna pop, and obviously that'll force the Aether. See, if he had a Blue Eyes on the field, it wouldn't matter. He'd still be able to attack, and well, he'd be able to go into Doesn't Matter Dragon, and he'd be able to do some good stuff. Okay, I don't think I understand what just happened here, to be honest. As he's now left with an alternative dragon and a Blue Eyes, but no, man, this is just... If he would have triggered that effect, he probably would be able to win this. I think he just got Stormforth, and that should be game. Yeah, he literally can just... He can just attack for game with those 2 monsters. They're going to game 3. I think that misplay literally just cost him that entire game too. Because if he just would have... He didn't even need to get a Blue Eyes. All he would have had to do was get a White Ka Dragon or White Spirit Dragon. He could have then exceed... After attempting to pop the Erebus with alternative, right? He would have forced out the Aether effect. Aether would have gotten summoned. Aether would have summoned whatever. Unless he had Karaz. If he was going to summon Karaz, then you're kind of boned anyways. But if he let's just say he got another Aether. You could have then went for Dark Matter Dragon, and you could have attacked like everything on the field. You could have blown a card up. Like you would have been able to clear his entire board. Monarchs would have never been able to reestablish a field. But instead, you were never able to get rid of all the Monarchs. So I do think that was a very winnable match for Blue Eyes. I think it was kind of thrown a little bit. So they're going into game 3. Blue Eyes seems to be perfectly fine going first, to be honest. I'm actually quite surprised. Yeah, Blue Eyes seems to be perfectly fine going first. If I'm Blue Eyes, Anti-Spells are cards that can come in. Mask of Restrict if you play those. Because I haven't really seen enough extra deck stuff to make me think Mask of Restrict doesn't hurt him a lot. But Anti-Spell could definitely... we haven't seen Brilliant Fusion. We've seen more instant fusions. But I think both of those cards could be legitimate. Plus, it's not like you don't play a bunch of Effect Veilers anyways. Like, you could play Mask of Restrict, and if he doesn't have Twin Twister, then if he tries to make a monster to blow or use a monster to get rid of your Mask of Restrict, then just, you know, use Effect Valor on it. But so far, interesting duel. I feel like Blue Eyes should have took it. Game 1, I think he luck sacked him. I think he probably should have lost that match. In Game 2, I think he misplayed, and he definitely should have won that match. So we'll see how this goes. I guess, honestly, it should be even, though, because, yeah, he luck sacked that Soul Charge. He should have lost that match. But you know what? Soul Charge is a power card in Blue Eyes. I would have used Soul Charge earlier. I would have used it turn 1 with the Game 2. I wouldn't have sat there and held it. Because he held it, and then he ended up not even being able to resolve it. It just ended up getting sniped out of his hand. And he could have turned that into like a Spirit Dragon, which could have negated Pantheism. Then he could have tagged out he could have tagged it out into something else, and maybe things would have just went different. All right. So let's see who's going first. Shuffling is going much quicker than in Game 2. I didn't have to fast forward or anything like that. Face up, face down, da 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 da. I'm sorry, I have that Songs to Duel by, that album stuck in my head. I'm gonna get that, man. That thing is awesome. I never realized it was that good. Yeah, I've Pokemon 2B a Master from when I was like 12 years old, and like super duper old album. Google it. It's a good album. But there's essentially a Yu-Gi-Oh version. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! Songs to Duel by, and it's really good. Actually, it looks like I lied. The shuffling's not going it's not going much faster, because I think they're now shuffling their opponent's deck. That first shuffle was just their deck. So, a lot of good instant fusion plays. I am actually surprised. I think this definitively proves Monarchs are going to get hit. If they're doing pretty well even without even with one Pantheism. I think this proves that Monarchs aren't, like, even with Pantheism at 1 and like Domain at 1, I think they'll still be like quite viable. We'll have to see when the little ABCs come out. All right. I also don't know about not so sure about the Electric Virus side either. Did he open with double Blue Eyes? That seems bad, but he has a trade-in, so it's not as bad as you would think. Looks like he's gonna play that trade-in immediately. Yeah, I do think he opened with double Blue Eyes. And he draws a Stone and a Galaxy Soldier, I believe. So he could be looking at a turn 1. Yeah, he could be looking at a turn 1 Cyber Infinity. No, it wasn't a Galaxy Soldier. Or maybe it is. It is a Galaxy Soldier. I'm sorry. I looked at the hand and it was a little late. Alright, so he has a Return of the Dragon Lords. He could set up with a, like, maybe he might want to go Cyber Infinity plus Titanic Galaxy and just hope that board rides. If it does, I think he should be okay. There's Alternative Dragon on the field. He's got Monarch Stormforth, which if he summons Titanic Galaxy, could just absorb that. Is that a Max C? Max C is going to be pretty big here. Max C is really big. He has Vanity's Fiend, which is not very good. Galaxy Soldier, he has to Max C him. He has to Max C now. All right. The problem is he could just end up taking a neg, though, off of that Max C. Yeah, he might end up taking a neg off of it. Travis could give him a bunch of cards. If he had like Vanity's Emptiness, I'd give him 5 trillion cards. And I would go Cyber Infinity. I'd go Cyber Infinity. I'd go Titanic Galaxy, and I'd say, here, you take 50 cards, and you're not going to kill my board. Like, I feel perfectly confident you will not kill my board. But he doesn't have any backup cards. Honestly, he might just want to pass. This is a really tough situation. Does he think that Cyber Infinity plus Titanic Galaxy can hold up against this field? Max C is so... I mean, if he didn't have Max C, he obviously would have already done it. Yeah, you have to think, man, because he has Vanity's Fiend. He can easily tribute for Vanity's Fiend and just win, and he does pass. I think that was a fair play. Electric Virus could come up actually clutch here, as much as I was bad-mouthing that card. It's kind of crazy. If he would have went second, he might have not been that bad, actually. Well, no, he might not have been able to play, honestly. Vanity's Fiend may have just, like, won him the duel. Because if he just summons, you know, Edia into Vanity's Fiend, I'm not sure he can do anything. Monarch Stormforth. Goodbye, Alternative Dragon. Here comes Vanity's Fiend. He'll attack. And he is now looking for some answers. Sets a Monarch Stormforth, I assume. And he's got to do some grinding here, man. I wonder where, if Vanity's Fiend is going to win him this duel. I don't know if not doing that was if he might, because he might literally just summon Edea and just attack. So he just attacks with Vanity's Fiend, and the problem is with no Regeki, TCG players they're not generally accustomed to this. All right, so going for escalation maybe. Escalation seems like it could be good here. Does he get escalation? That seems like, honestly, that's the card I would get. Yeah, escalation. Because if your Vanity's Fiend is going to die, just tribute it. Just tribute it for Erebus and just spin away whatever the fuck that your opponent's throwing at you. Like, I don't think I've ever searched for escalation in my entire life, but this is the one situation where I'm like, wow, escalation is like the card to search for. And he does search for escalation. I think that Travis has almost no chance of winning now. That Vanity's Fiend is looking too good. Sets the escalation, and yeah, he does what I would have done. For a second, I thought that was an Erebus that or for a second, I thought that Travis sided in an Aether, but that must have been a different card. It almost looked like Travis sided in an Aether, which would just make no sense. But it kind of looked like Aether. All right, so he summons Eidos, and looks like he's going to double tribute for Erebus. Yeah, I actually thought about that. If he's not going to play any cards, I just would go ahead and set the Electric Virus. I mean, if he summons something, ideally... Oh, there's Domain. If he summons something, ideally, it's not going to be bigger than Vanity's Fiend anyways. Okay. Rolls a die, hits the middle card. I don't know why I could have swore that Travis, the Blue Eyes player, sided in... I guess it was a Sage. Okay, it was a Sage. And yeah, man, that's the one thing about Blue Eyes is since you don't run traps, things like Vanity's Fiend can just get you. In the TCG, we have Regeki, but they don't have that in Worlds because it's not legal in the OCG. So maybe, maybe you gotta have those copies of Dark Holes. I think Dark Hole is, what is Dark Hole at in the OCG? I feel like it might be limited in the OCG. All right, Scoop Phase. And Travis Smith is eliminated from Worlds. Congratulations to Matthew Casero. I'll be back with top 4, boys.